Hey everybody, happy hump day. Let's just dive in. So today is day 9 of our 28-day challenge, Intentional Parenting for Busy Moms. And last week we defined our dreams of what type of mom we want to be and what kind of impact we want to make on our kids, what kind of adults we want to raise. And this week we're talking about breaking bad habits and establishing new good habits that serve us as moms. And so today in day 9, we're going to talk about triggers. Now, yesterday we talked about yelling because yelling is a behavior that a lot of moms have. It's a bad habit that a lot of moms have, myself included, as a recovering yeller. And it can be something that can be devastating, not only to your relationship with you and your kids, but also just as your self esteem as a mom. Just with you moving forward and becoming a better mom every single day, and you don't feel like you're a good mom when you're yelling. And today I want to talk about what can trigger a reactive response in us, because a reaction in our parenting, because our kids have meltdowns. Our kids do things that they don't need to do. Our kids do things that we have repeatedly told them not to do. They destroy things. They make messes. Some of these things at certain ages can be developmentally appropriate, and sometimes they're not. Oh, shh. But, we are the adult in the situation. We are the one who is responsible for how we can either respond to the child's need as to why they're acting this way, or we can react in anger or frustration or whatever emotion we're feeling in the moment because of what that child just did. Now, what that child does that causes us to react, that's our trigger. That's what I'm talking about. For me, and this is probably going to make a lot of you laugh because I have 6 kids, but noise is a trigger for me. When my kids start screaming and making a lot of noise, I want to react. Another trigger, and this is also going to make you laugh because people are going to say, well, why'd you have 6 kids if this is a trigger for you? Messes, especially when someone spills something and doesn't clean it up, that's a trigger for me. And maybe that's not a trigger for you, but when someone spills something and I find it and they did not clean it up, that can be something that I can, fly off the handle. And there are other triggers as well. When my kids talk back to me, that's definitely a trigger for me. And that's something that we're working on together is, what my expectations are of them. But also I can't have an expectation of them to be calm and respectful to me if I'm not being calm and respectful and modeling that behavior to them and setting an example of what that looks like. And I'm telling you, it is so much easier said than done. But what I have learned through years and years of spinning my wheels in a ditch, just trying to overcome this bad habit of reactive parenting, is that it is all inside of me. It all goes back to, like I talked about on day 7 on Monday of this week, of the practice of mindfulness. And let me tell you what that looks like. I know I've been harping on that all week, but it has made such an impact in my life and in my parenting, in me, how I feel about myself as a mother, and my relationship with my kids, and in finally being able to move forward from being frustrated and angry to being calm and present. And I think that's what it means to be an intentional mom. We are calm, we are present, and we're fulfilling the dream of what kind of moms that we want to be to our kids. We're not feeling stuck. And that's where we've all been at times. But I want to say what that looks like for me on a daily basis is when I'm feeling triggered. You have to know when you're feeling triggered. You have to know what your triggers are, first of all. But another thing that has really helped me to be proactive even before I become triggered is the mindfulness practice of meditation. And I know you're probably thinking, Jordan, when in the world do you have time to meditate when you have 6 small children? I have to get creative. I'm going to be honest. I have to do it early in the morning or late at night when my kids are not around, because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here doing a guided meditation and they're going to be bothering me. They're going to say, he hit me, I need something to drink, whatever. I need this, I need that. And that's defeating the purpose of meditation. But when I have to get creative, but it's something that's very, very important to me. So I make it happen on most days. I try to do it every day, but most days I make my meditations happen, even if they're short, because that's better than nothing. And when I'm in the moment, when I've already been triggered, how there is also a way that I can, before I fly off the handle, before I do that knee jerk reaction that later I'm going to be so ashamed of, that inner voice inside of me is going to say, you did it again, you yelled again. Before I get to that point, I have a choice. And the more I practice this, the easier it gets. And we're going to talk about that on Friday. We're going to talk about rewiring your brain. Spoiler alert. But my choice is, I can, if I'm able to stop earlier before I actually yell, I can realize that trigger and stop myself and just take some deep breaths. The practice of deep breathing, you don't have to be anywhere. It doesn't require any special equipment, but it's so powerful. Just close my eyes, taking some deep breaths, and telling my kids, Mommy needs a moment to calm down. I've said that so many times to my kids that they know, okay, Mommy really does need a moment. Let's just back off for a minute. And it might take you a few, some time too before your kids catch on, but they will. And I take some deep breaths and I speak love to who I am on the inside. I practice, I identify whatever thoughts, and this is something, like I said, this takes a lot of practice. This takes a lot of intention, but that's what we're here for this challenge for, the practice of intentional parenting for busy moms. And, speaking that love, just taking 1 or 2 minutes to take those deep breaths and center myself and ground myself, and then choose it for my response to my kids, to think, to myself, how can I parent them in a way that meets their needs right now? What kind of need is being expressed in this moment? What does my child need from me? And, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be messy. More often than not, it's not going to be just this beautiful parenting moment. It could be. A lot of times it can be. But you're making progress. You need to celebrate every victory and every win that you have, because when you're able to do that, and when I'm able to do that, we're making progress to become the mom that we dream of being. We're making progress from being a reactive parent to being a responsive parent, and we are rewiring our brains to make that who we truly are. So, last thing, if you are not a member of my group, Survival Mode is Successful, Moms Moving Beyond Trauma, I encourage you to head on over there, because there are a lot of other posts that are part of this challenge. There's a lot of other amazing content that is part of this challenge, and a lot of trainings and really cool stuff going on in that group that you can't find anywhere else. And I